Hello friends, trust we're doing well today. In my previous video, I was encouraging us not to give up on our dreams, not to give up in life generally. I understand everybody is going through one thing or the other. I understand going through difficulties, through challenges, Sometimes people get to the point of, trying to take their own life, just to end. I've heard somebody say, I just want to die, let this whole thing just end, and like I say, if you take your life, it has not ended. You end up giving more problem to the people you have left alive. So taking your life should never at any time be the solution. And let me make this for emphasis sake. Each time it gets tough, when it gets difficult, when it gets tense more, it is a sign that you are close to the end. You must always know that when the challenges get tense and serious and more difficult, and it is a sign that is about to end. People commonly say there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I said that to somebody sometime, and he asked me, how far is this tunnel? Because he has traveled more than he feels the tunnel should be. It is not in our hands to determine how far a lot of things will take us to achieve. Our own is to do our own parts. Have faith in God and keep putting our ass on the line. Keep showing up every now and then. And that's the logic. Keep showing up. But today I want to briefly talk about, give us some factors, probably 3 to 4 factors or reasons why people give up so easily. But before I do, this is Uche Chukwuemezola one on your screen again. If you like what we're doing, you can click on the like button. You can also share the page, just so you can help us reach out to a lot of people. I know this video will surely bless you. We can also communicate. You can also share your own thought about this thing. So back to what I was saying. I know you might have 200 reasons why you want to give up, but trust me, giving up is not the answer. Giving up will not take you to whatever you're looking. And the truth is, we all have our dreams. We all have aspiration. There's nobody that God creates that does not have ambition. Let me not use the word ambition. That does not have dreams or aspirations, of things he or she wants to achieve, But then there is nothing good that comes easily. There's nothing worth it in life that will not come with challenges, that doesn't have, and the bigger your dream is, the more challenging it will get, the more difficult it becomes for you to achieve it. So, in as much as you are dreaming big, you must also realize that you are going to suffer big before you achieve that dream. Like I said, let's talk about some of the commonly factors that make people give up so easily. And one of them on my list is fear of failure. Have you realized that a lot of people tend to fail before the quest, before the task, if I will say? Why? I want to use myself as an example, and I know some of us, growing up, as a growing-up child back in days when I started singing newly, do you know that sometimes I can get to the stage to sing, I forget what I want to sing? I don't know. It's a true confession. I've had people who needs to come read a particular piece. They get there. Back in in primary school, then you have what to call morning recitation, where you have to cram a whole lot of a page, and the rest of that. Sometimes you realize that you get to the stage and you forget, what you have actually crammed. And sometimes before this happen, there's already a fear factor in you. Sometimes it could be from, your chest could be beating you, boom, boom, before you get to the stage. You can call that stage frightenness and the rest of that. Some people can't face the crowd and all that. But the failure actually started before you get up there, and this is how it is in life. A lot of people have their dreams, they have planned things they want to do, but before they get there, or once the D-Day comes, to see them now experiencing this fear, such that when they get there, somebody who never stammers before, somebody who never jitters before, is now stammering on stage. This is one of the factors that make people fail in a particular quest or the other one. The other one I want to look at is lack of discipline. Back in the days in school, I mean, we usually hear that word. When you want to study, you study as if you taught the person studying. When you want to pray, you pray as if you taught the person prayer. What that means is that both factors work together for good. You cannot substitute one for the other. That is to say that I cannot have an exam, an intense exam I need to write in a week time or a few days time, and then I'm somewhere clubbing, and then I'm somewhere doing some kind of thing that's not related, that will not help my brain to relax and stimulate the tasks I have ahead. And you see this happen in a lot of people's life. They don't take certain things serious. They have a big task, something huge for them, but you see them getting distracted easily. As such, they are not really disciplined. If you are disciplined, you will know what to do, when to do it. So this is also a sign of distraction. It can also make you distracted from the real cause. Why? Other point is also some people also lose faith in themselves, and I know you can say that this also connected to my first point, fear of failure. I've seen a lot of people lose belief, lose faith in themselves, probably because of something that has happened in the past. You see somebody who has prepared for a particular thing, all of a sudden on the point of wanting to engage in that, as somebody says something to them, and the whole thing derails them. The faith, the trust, the hope is gone. And I said it before, the bigger the dream, the bigger the challenge. You should also expect a challenge a few seconds to the point where your dream is about to turn to reality. So you must be sensitive to these things. Just to play around a bit. A couple of weeks ago, there's a football match, Manchester United. One of the players had a penalty to play. He just set the ball to kick the penalty. Mistakenly, the referee, pushed him mistakenly. He got upset. He got furious. He was yelling at the referee. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He lost focus. He got distracted. And then even when he came back, he could see that this one has lost faith in himself. The movement, the whatever, he was displaying at that time already showed that this one, and a couple of us knew that wasn't going to go inside of the net. And that's it. At the point of your breakthrough, there is always something that tries to distract you. But would you be sensitive enough, to know that this is the hour and nothing must distract you? The other point I want to talk about is, what I call, some people who have failed before in a particular task. This thing has a tendency of always ringing in your head. When you have failed in a particular task, you failed one, you failed twice, even when you are going to do that again, probably somebody is compelling you or forcing you to go do it. Each time that previous failure you have comes to your head, the tendency is that you might end up failing. So these are some of other factors. I can also tell you, excuses is also part of them. Procrastination is also part of them. Personal pressures, unnecessary personal pressure. Why am I saying this? At that point, at the point of your breakthrough, at the point when you have something important, that's the time you need the most. The most of the seriousness, the most of the focus and dedication you need. But sometimes you put unnecessary pressure on you. You like people to put pressure on you, and some people naturally don't know how to handle pressure. At the end of the day, they are met with failures. Now, why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because a lot of dreams have died. A lot of people dreamt big, but just one little temptation, one little mistake, one little challenge, the whole dream dies off. And each time a dream dies, a person dies. Why am I saying this? When a whole dream is achieved, a lot of people get lifted. It's just like what I was saying a few days ago. You see, when you are successful in life, or let me use the word, your success is tied to a lot of people. That is to say that your success will impact a lot of people positively, as against what your failure will do. That's why commonly people say success have many friends. as against failures. Once you attain the level of success, depending on what you see as success, like I say, you tend to have both the friendly friend and the unfriendly friend. So success is important, but the road to this success is never easy. It doesn't come without thorns. It doesn't come without temptation, without trials. But only those who truly overcome these difficulties, those who have gone through this thorn, through this fire, and still standing strong, these are the people who have actually succeeded or succeed. That's why I always say, depending on what you call successful, because a lot of people who didn't really go through nothing, it's just been sparkling, or through one dubious means or whatever, they become who they are. And when you come look at them, you use them as example of people who are success. No true success story that doesn't have a turn. No true success story that doesn't have that pain is not involved, that agony is not involved. Those are success stories. Thank you. Those are success stories. So today I want to tell you, no matter what comes your way, no matter what the challenge is, no matter what the difficulty is, don't you throw the towel. Don't worry, the tunnel can be as long as you don't imagine, but surely there is an end. It's scriptural. Surely there is an end. Surely there is a light at the end of the tunnel. The only way to get to the end of the tunnel is what? Keep pushing. Keep showing up. Keep putting all your effort. Like I say, keep putting your ass on the line. Never you at any point feel that this time is time to give up. If I go a bit of scripture, you remember the man Job. The devil did everything to him, everything humanly possible, just to make him quit, just to make him give up, just to make him denounce his faith. But his persistency, that thing in him that told him, keep moving. You still have one more. As long as I'm breathing, there is still one more step to get. At the end of the day, he got to the end of the tunnel, and the rest of it is story. So these are some of the people who can regard as successful people who have gone through pains, through challenges, through fires, and they are still standing. Thank you.